Like we're like, oh shit, what do I do? So now I'm thinking like, all right, I got to get my iPhone headphones. I have to find that little dongle wherever the hell I put that piece of crap, and like try to hook it up to my control. And that dongle, everybody loses that dongle. That thing is like freaking two inches small. Like.
All right, everyone, and welcome to yet another edition of Game Wild. We've made it to another one. How about that, SJW? What do you think?
Oh my god, wait, what are we, is this 15? 15?
Oh,
14?
man, I don't know.
I've
lost count. I don't even know how to count anymore.
That's probably a good thing. Once we get past, like, toes and fingers, then we really know we've made it.
Yep. That's absolutely right. So once again, I want to welcome everyone to another edition. We want to thank you for coming aboard during the COVID quarantine stuff that's still going on throughout the world. So we thank you for taking some time to listen to us as part of your weekly routine. And if you haven't already, please give us 5 stars and rate us and review us on all of the great sites that are out there that we are on. And I think we're just going to get started. We're going to jump right into it, I think, feet first. And the first thing on the docket is going to be the question of the week.
Oh, yeah.
And this one is, what was your favorite video game controller of all time? So, SJW, since I brought up the question, why don't you be the first to answer?
Sure. All right, we'll switch it up this week.
Yeah.
Man, what was my favorite video game controller of all time? That's hard.
Very difficult.
Ooh, that is very difficult, to be honest with you. I mean, are we including, like,
any controller that you've ever played?
Like, does the shape of a game... No, not really. Okay, so...
I mean, I think it's more console.
Yeah,
I think we got to go console.
So...
Not...
Okay, let's go with... Well, I know what I'm not going to choose, and that's the original Xbox controller.
Yeah, that was probably
the worst one. All right, I'm going to go with N64. I'm going to go with N64.
Yeah, that was a great controller, and I have to say I love that controller too, and I've been thinking about it. I've been fighting between the PlayStation 1 dual shock controller, the original dual shock controller, and maybe it's because I still use it and I really like it, but the Xbox One controller I'm a big fan of. I really love that controller. I use it on some of my PC games as well. So, I think I'm going to go with something that's still fairly new or at least recent, and I'm going to go with the Xbox One controller. And it looks like the Xbox One X series controller isn't going to be too far off in regards to the way that one's going to look to the Xbox One controller. So, I'm going to stick with that.
I will say the Xbox, so I feel like most of the younger generation that may not have played like N64 and stuff, they probably all unanimously agree that Xbox One is their favorite controller. I feel like most people prefer that controller. What I will give, I've always been a PlayStation controller guy. What I will give to the Xbox controller right now is that they make it incredibly easy to, like you said, use it for your PC. I use it for like Rocket League and basically anything like a first-person shooter like Halo that I play online or Fortnite or something like that. I'm more of a controller guy for those games. I can't use my keyboard and mouse for that stuff. It just feels really, really weird. So I will say they make it super easy. Careful with what?
Yeah, just be careful. Well, because a lot of people will blast you for that. There is a huge segment of the community that's first-person shooters should only be keyboard and mouse, and if you use a controller, it just means you suck. So be careful with that.
All right, listen.
We lost viewership.
All right, listen.
My God.
I will say I will give credit to people that can use a keyboard and mouse for shooters because it is, I feel, a much higher difficulty playing with a keyboard and mouse. So if you can play with a keyboard and mouse, you can obviously play with a controller.
That's what I do. Yeah. I've been able to do both because I am a little bit older than you, and there were no controllers back in the day when you wanted to play first-person shooters for Doom and Wolfenstein.
Well, okay,
and Quake. Quake was a big one.
I played Quake.
Half-Life.
I played Quake, the original Halo, the original Counter-Strike, and Doom, and Wolfenstein, all on PC with keyboard and mouse when I was younger. That was when I was probably like 8, 9, 10. And then even in high school, we had Halo on all of the computers for computer science. It wasn't really a computer science class, let's be honest. It was a Halo class, and we would all LAN and play Halo on computers. So nice. I know the pain, but even and actually now that you mention it, it's funny because I can't even think about playing something like Halo without a controller now. But back then, I didn't think twice about loading up WASD with my mouse. Yep. So it's kind of weird how that's shifted, and I didn't even recognize it. So
yeah. So now that we've talked about our question of the week, which is gonna play into one of our big topics of the week.
Yeah, pretty excited about it.
We are going to start off our second segment with a review. SJW was kind enough to spend some money and get a physical copy of Final Fantasy VII Remake for the PlayStation 4, and he said that he spent 5 hours of his life last night playing the game. So, with that being said, as you can see on YouTube, I have a Final Fantasy VII Remake background, basically for him and for everyone else to see. So please go on our YouTube and check it out. I would like for you to now give us your impressions of the first 5 hours of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I'm sure, based upon how the game actually plays, you probably have 25 to 30 more hours of gameplay before you're finished.
Oh my god!
With that piece, because it's a 3-piece set. So,
and I would like to tell you that you need to freaking get this game, bro. This is, oh my god! All right, so first, props to the background. I do very much love a good Midgar background. Okay, it's great, especially with the new graphics. It looks on point, and it's funny because they it doesn't look too far off from the original CGI from the original game, simply because it's such a zoomed out picture of Midgar. So there's not a whole lot of detail to be had. So it's funny how that's like that. But anyways, oh man, yeah. So I sunk 5 hours into this. I think I'm on chapter like 5 or something like that. It goes by chapters, so it's reminiscent of like Uncharted in that sense. And man, when I first started, you played the demo, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the demo.
Remember, I gave you the demo impressions, and you were like, "Oh, I wish I played it."
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. So and where did the demo end again? It was
right after you basically were escaping in the bomb.
Yeah. So
you blew up everything.
Oh yeah. So you're running out, and then it ends. And when I played the demo, I was like, man, this is basically just the same game, and it didn't go through a lot of the menu stuff and the materia. Like, you didn't deal with materia or anything in the demo. So I was a little concerned. But once you get out of the demo and you get to like chapter 2, you get, actually right after the demo, you get a piece of materia from Jessie, who's one of the Avalanche girls. And it just is all uphill from there, man. It's all so good. The best part is that once you get to sector, the slums, I think it's sector 7 in the very beginning, I was not expecting this. There's side quests. And
of course.
Well, so here's the thing. I don't know why, like, it's a remake, but I was thinking in my head that it was just going to be the same game with just like added storyline. And I wasn't expecting or even really wanting side quests. I was totally cool as a Final Fantasy fan just playing the game straight through remade. What are you smiling about?
Well, I find it funny that you're like, I didn't expect a RPG to have side quests.
Okay, all right. No, because
like, especially right at the start.
But did you play the original game? Like, did you play this?
Of course I played the original game.
So that's what I mean. Like, I guess I'm such a Final Fantasy fan that I was literally just picturing the original game in my head with new graphics. Like, that's literally what I was thinking. I don't know if that's just me.
Well, if that was the case, the whole entire way the game actually plays would be completely different, and it would be turn-based and not freaking
and the combat. I was basically
combat.
New graphics, new combat system. That was basically all I was expecting. And I don't know, maybe that's just me, but the side quests are super fun. They, they're simple things, and I haven't gotten into too many more. The only downside I will say, and I think this is only because of how the first disc plays out. So, like, the first disc in the original game was just Midgar, and that's supposed to be what this is. When you are in Sector 7, the slums, when you finish, it says, like, when you're about to go into the bar at one point to kind of, like, finish that chapter, it says, if you proceed, you cannot complete the side quests that you haven't done yet. So it kind of forces you, like, you either do all the side quests or you don't, or you can do a couple and just move on. But what I will say is that if you do all the side quests, you get a little extra tidbit of storyline. Now it's not like super integral to like understanding the whole story. It didn't include like Sephiroth or anything like that, but it's relationship building. So I think for the true like RPG Final Fantasy fans, you're gonna want to do all the side quests, if just at least to get all the storyline that you could possibly get. Beyond that, the materia system is so good. It's just like the classic, but it's very clean. It transitioned very well into modernization and all that. And oh my god, I could go on and on about this game, Joe. It's so freaking good.
So how many characters did you end up getting for your squad? Is it just the 3? Is it just Cloud, Tifa?
Right now, it's just
Barrett,
Cloud, Tifa, and Barrett, the only people that you actually have played with so far. Tifa's super fun. What I love the most about the battle system.
She is.
Oh yeah, one of my friends was in the living room watching me play. Yeah, she's bouncy, all right. One of my friends was watching me play on the projector in the living room, and he's like, "Oh my god, she looks like." He was commenting on the clothes that Tifa was wearing, and like, yeah, they Tifa'd her up in this game. So she is
Tank
very
top
much Tifa.
Oh
yeah, take top Tifa's right. So, so what I was saying is they did a great job making the look and feel of every individual character feel completely different. Fighting with Cloud feels incredibly different than fighting with Tifa. Feels incredibly different than fighting with Barrett. They all have completely different special moves. The other good thing that I wasn't expecting with their abilities is that, like, let's say you start with Buster Sword. When you have the Buster Sword, you have Braver, right? And now, originally, Braver was like his limit break in the original game. Now, Cross Slash is his limit break. And I haven't even gotten into learning new limit breaks yet. Like, they haven't even introduced that. So Braver is just an ability attached to Buster Sword. So if you unequip Buster Sword, you lose Braver. However, when you equip a new weapon, each new weapon has a new ability like Braver. So if you level up that ability, you now learn it permanently. So when you go to choose a different weapon, that's just in your ability list. So the cool thing is I can use Braver, whenever I want, whenever I have an ATB gauge filled, and whatever other skills I might learn linked to the weapons. And do you know skill grid. The just like Final Fantasy X, you know how all the games have that for like a skill grid now?
Yep.
They have that for weapons. So your weapons level up, they have SP attached to them. They have max SPs, and then you put them into skills to gain HP, gain attack, stuff like that. So it's just, it's so good. It's simple enough to not ruin the original game, but more complexity and more features have been added to make it feel like a brand new game.
Awesome. That's incredible.
Oh,
so
dude,
more to play.
You got to get it.
More time to play.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, it's just about sinking all that time into it. It's going to be difficult, but I get it. And you, like I said, you probably still have about 30 hours left just for that one part. I'm sure, like, the whole game itself is broken up into 3 separate parts, and I bet you it's probably going to be like 100+ hours combined, but I can only imagine the first game being about 40.
It was about 42 or something like that. Yeah. And that's what's blowing my mind right now, because I did the side quests in the beginning, and with all the side quests taken into consideration, so it probably would have taken me like an hour and a half less if I didn't do the side quests. It's right now 5 hours to get through like 5 chapters, and we're just now, like, we're still in the Sector 7 slums pretty much. We haven't even gotten to like the wall market or anything. So there's still so much more gameplay to be had, and it's 5 hours in. So there's got to be, like you said, like 30+ hours of gameplay in this, and it's just only the first disc. So the only thing that pisses me off, and it might not, depending on what they do, is I swear to God, if they make the wait for the next, like, the sequel in the third game, I will flip my shit. I am not going to sit here and play a game on a cliffhanger, even if I already know the end of the story. All right, we know, we played the original game, we know the end of the story, but, like, no. We need to have these games, like, within a reasonable amount of time. A year is the absolute tops. If they make it more than a year, that's just pushing it, man. That's not cool. Not cool by Square Enix if they do that.
I hear you, and hopefully this COVID stuff doesn't cause it to go back even further.
Then that's the problem,
than the original
too.
Part.
Which kind of sucks, because they also can use that as an excuse, whether it's affecting it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's...
Well, let's... speaking of COVID, there's some things going on because of it, and the first thing that we're going to talk about is that Google Stadia is starting to give away 2 months free of its software, program, streaming, whatever you want to call it. And all you need is a Gmail account. This is from IGN who reported this. And basically, if you have a Google account or a Gmail account, you can sign up for Stadia and get 2 months free. After that, it's $9.99 a month, or you can opt out and just use your 2 months there. It's completely up to you. And the Pro subscription tier allows players to claim free games for the Stadia library. And right now, it looks like there's a few, like Destiny 2, the collection, Grid,
It's pretty big.
Gaylet, or it's G-Y-I-T.
Guilt. I think it's pronounced Guilt.
Guilt.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering if it was like an I or an L.
Yeah.
SteamWorld Dig 2, SteamWorld Quest, Hands of Gigamech, or Gilgamesh, and then Serious Sam Collection, Splitting, Stacks on Stacks on Stacks, and Thumper. But let me tell you something, SJW. The one big thing about this article is that there is a question in the article. So it's basically like, hey, will you be trying Google Stadia for free? So I decided to answer it. I said no.
Oh, you can comment? You commented below?
No, I just put in a vote.
Oh, okay.
On the question.
Gotcha.
Wouldn't you know, no is the top answer at almost 60%. So even Google giving this away for 2 months is not enough for gamers to want to try this. At a whopping 59.7%, no is the biggest answer.
Yeah.
Yes is at 36.5, and I'm already a Stadia Pro subscriber is 3.9. And for you 3.9 percenters out there, don't fret. They're giving you 2 months free no matter what. So if you're already a Pro subscriber to Stadia, you're actually still getting 2 months free. So this is not for new subscribers. This is for anyone who has a Gmail account that wants to sign up right now or has a Pro Stadia account already. So
yeah, and listen, this vote is not. I mean, it's 11,874 people that voted. This is not like 10 people voted and it's skewed. This is a fair amount of gamers that are like, nah. Thanks. Keep your Stadia. I'll chill and do something
exactly.
else.
No.
And dude, like you have Destiny for free, but I don't know, man. I'm just, dude. This whole streaming thing, I think people already moving primarily to digital was a big enough leap for gaming in general. So now to be sitting here streaming, which is basically the way that I see it, is that the gamer is losing ownership of games even more and more and more as time goes on. Now, that doesn't really matter if you're just worried about playing the games. But me personally, I actually had somebody comment on an Instagram post that I made. I said something about waiting for Pokemon in the mail because I just got Pokemon Shield. It's coming next week. And as if I don't already have enough games to play. And he's like, well, dude, why not just download it? And I'm like, well, because you don't even own the game. He's like, well, you can, put it on an SD card and then, technically you could like sell the SD card to somebody if you wanted to. The problem is when you download all these games now, it literally has in terms and conditions that you are purchasing the rights to like use the game. You're not actually buying. You don't own anything. You're literally paying to like permanently rent a game. And
it attaches to your account and stuff like that. And obviously, if something happens, you
can get it back.
It goes away with you, kind of.
Yeah, but like when you talk like the world in general, just you own things that are yours. And personally, for me, if I buy a game, I want it to be mine. I also kind of like collecting games. So as a collector, you don't ever want to buy a digital game, like ever. So that's why I got the Final Fantasy VII Remake on disc. I could have got it at midnight the other night, but I picked it up in store because I wanted the physical game. And you know, let's say something like the coronavirus happens and you need a little bit of cash. Like you can sell all your games and get some cash. So I just, I think that has a little bit to do with it. But then on top of that, man, they just failed with marketing this and making it worth it and all that stuff. Actually, I just looked this up too, just so everybody who's listening, it's only available in certain countries as well.
Yes, there is some limitations as per usual.
So here they are: Belgium, Canada, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Netherlands, Norway, Spain, Sweden, the UK, and the US. So it's not a lot of countries when you all things considered. It's the major countries, I guess you could say. The countries that are most likely to even have, like first world countries, right? But I don't know, man. I'm not getting this. I'm not bothering. I don't even care. I'm so beyond Stadia. That's why we don't talk about it. till now. Like nobody gives a shit
Yeah,
about
and that's
it.
only because it's free. So if people are interested in it, they can go to IGN. We'll
Yep.
have the link down in our page here, so you can look at it. But
Oh yeah.
now let's move over to the next big topic, and this is part of the reason why we decided to ask what controller is your favorite.
Yep.
And that's because the Sony PlayStation 5 controller was announced in regards to revealing what it's going to look like and some of the fun stuff that's going to be coming with it. They are calling it the DualSense controller. So if you guys are familiar with PlayStation's controllers over the years, they've created the DualShock controller, and then that was upgraded over the PlayStation years. So there was the PlayStation 1 DualShock that came closer to the end of it, then the PlayStation 2, 3, 4, etc. And now we are finally changing the name and changing it up to call it the DualSense controller.
Yeah, I it looks great. I mean, the controller looks great. I think my only complaint is that they're not calling it the DualShock 5.
Well, it looks fairly similar to a PlayStation 4 controller with a little bit more of a fatter design, it looks like, but it's very, very reminiscent of a PlayStation 4 controller, which is fine because I'm not going to slam that because the Xbox controllers have evolved over the years for sure, but the Xbox One controller versus the Xbox One X Series controller, or Xbox X Series, whatever they're calling it again, is going to be very similar to its former.
Can't wait till there's like Xbox XXX.
Right, exactly, the Triple X controller. We know what you want.
So for anybody who's watching on the YouTube, or if you're listening and you want to see the controller, head over onto our YouTube. I have the picture up in the video, and yeah, Joe nailed it. I mean, it looks exactly like the PS4 controller. It looks a little bulkier than the PS4 controller. Are you seeing that? Do you agree with that? It looks like the middle portion.
Yeah, that's what I said. It feels thicker. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And they do say, it's supposed to have a better grip. The triggers are supposed to be adaptive triggers. So now each game, to me, what that means is that instead of like it's obviously the amount of tension you put on the triggers in any game matters. But now I guess each game programmers will be able to change that up in each game. It's not just a set, 1 to 10 or whatever. So that's pretty cool, I guess, for game development. That'll help. The options button, which was on the right next to the triangle button, is now going to be called, what does it say, create, right? Is that right? I think it's called the create button. So I do like the name change. I think that's good from all standpoints. I think it's good from a business standpoint too. I think they made that decision from a business standpoint because people are about being creators now, content creators. So I think it's good. I don't know.
And I mean, it is going to also come with a audio jack, your standard audio jack, which is good for headphones and such, which was a big to do, I suppose.
That surprises me.
So.
That honestly surprises me that it even comes with an aux. Well, I feel like a lot of things are shifting away from aux now to USB-C, and it's like I don't know if you forget. Like, all right, here's an example.
I think it's cost.
Well, yeah, cost has something to do with it. But here's a perfect example. Last night, I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. I decided to stream it directly from my PS4, right, using the share button, and I was like, shit, I don't have a mic set up. So my first thought was, because the controller itself has an aux port, the PS4 controller has an aux port in the bottom, I'm like, I'll just grab some headphones. So I asked my roommate, and both of us are like, where in the Christ do we have a set of aux headphones? Like, none of us have any. Like, we're like, oh shit, what do I do? So now I'm thinking like, all right, I got to get my iPhone headphones. I have to find that little dongle, wherever the hell I put that piece of crap, and like try to hook it up to my controller. And that dongle, everybody loses that dongle. That thing is like freaking two inches small. Like, so I don't think I think aux is getting phased out. It's all Bluetooth and USB-C, So I'm very surprised they did it. I wouldn't be surprised if this is wrong and they change it to a USB-C because we still have quite a way to go. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It says they revealed it, so I mean, it's possible they could change it, but this looks like it's going to be it. This isn't like, hey, they've shown like schematics. This is it. This is the controller. I don't think there's any changes that are going to happen. Well, at least at the beginning.
Yeah, you might be right, but it doesn't say anything in this article, but I imagine it's probably got a USB-C at the top of the controller to charge.
Well, that looks very familiar to me of a old school USB charger. Just this.
Well,
Just
you
from the
can't see
pictures.
you can't see the top though. So you're saying it would
Yes,
still
you
have a
can.
charger.
If you scroll down a little bit more, they do have a
they
side
have a
view at the
top?
bottom. It's very difficult to say specifically which one it is, but it looks very, very much like a
Wait, what picture are you looking at? Are you
in
on
the IGN.
Oh,
In
IGN.
the game. Oh no, Game Radar. I'm on Game Radar Plus. Maybe we have different articles.
Yeah, I had the wired article.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Games Radar DualSense. Okay. Let's see. Let me. Okay, then it has one on the shoulder. Ooh, that's tough. I mean,
it's tough to say, but it kind of looks like it's got that angle to it that would be reminiscent of the USB.
Yeah, because isn't the USB-C just like a perfect oval?
It's a perfect oval, and this doesn't look like it. So it's. I think they call that the B.
Oh wait, no, I don't know. It kind of looks like. It kind of looks like. All right, so.
And it doesn't say what the charging port is in this article either, so it doesn't talk about the charging piece, which I'm surprised because there was a lot of conversation about the Xbox controller going with battery still and getting a battery pack versus having it built in like the PlayStation controller is going to have, a built-in charging controller. So.
Oh, okay. And you know what? I'm curious. I mean, I'm trying to look up right now the USB-C, but I know it does have to work with the PSVR because they did say that the PlayStation VR is going to work with PS5. So that does, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the PSVR requires USB-A, right?
I don't know. I'm not a big VR person to be able to answer that properly.
Yeah. So, okay. Oh, wait. No. Okay, here we go. I just found it. So there is a website that says Sony's latest this is an old patent back in November. It says they revealed key features of the DualShock 5, including a built-in microphone and USB Type-C charging.
Oh, there you go.
So, and you know what? Honestly, it just makes sense that they're going to do USB-C charging.
I would think so. I think both would have it. I wouldn't even be surprised if the Xbox controller will have it because there will be charging packs that you're going to have it too. So that's what I would say. Yeah.
So, and did they reveal the Xbox controller yet? No, right?
They've shown like the schematics of it for sure. I don't know if they've gone into detail, but they definitely have pictures of what it's going to look like.
Okay. Yeah, so I think it'll be USB-C, and if that's the case, then the aux is literally there for just like, the 5 people that still have aux headphones. So, I mean, and it probably, like you said, it costs nothing to put an aux port in now, probably.
Yeah.
So, because it's so rarely used. But, yep, we have a PS5 controller. My only gripe is the name, but hey, I'll probably get used to it. I don't really care. DualSense.
There you go.
They probably eventually should have gotten rid of the number anyways. What are they going to go up to? PS10, DualShock 10?
Yeah, they can go as far as they want.
Yeah.
All right. So, we're moving on to our next topic of the day.
Our new segment that we just created and made up.
Yep, absolutely. It's called Ruffhouse Deals.
Oh, yeah.
Deals. So, on my, looking around, I try to find stuff for our viewers. And this is all public stuff. It's not something secret. You can find this. But, the biggest thing going on right now with the whole COVID-19 stuff is how do you interact with friends and play with friends online, but maybe you want to play with people who aren't so video game centric and you want to play stuff like board games or things like that or do trivia. Well, do we have something for you? The Jackbox Party Packs are all on sale directly at jackboxgames.com. So not only can you purchase 1 through 6 at a discount, you can purchase individual games as well at a discount. The biggest one is Jackbox Party Pack 6, which is their newest one that just came out. And here's the deal. All you do is go to jackboxgames.com, pick the party pack that you want, and then it's going to show you all the platforms it's on sale for. Please note, from the looks of everything that I see here, not everything may be on sale as we speak today, or you hear this on Monday.
Yeah.
So
terms and conditions are subject to change.
Exactly. And you should buy it directly from the site itself. So, for example, the Steam codes are purchased directly from Jackbox Games, and you can get it on sale for about 30% off from $29.99 to $20.99. So you can get that from the Steam store, from the store on Jackbox Games and then put it into your Steam account. Don't buy it at the Steam store because it's not on sale. Epic Games also has it available, but you have to note with Epic Games, it does say that it is available until April 16th. So I'm assuming that's probably going to be the same for Steam, but Steam doesn't have one.
Right now.
So get on that now because Monday is the 13th, so you only have a couple of days. It does look like the console ones may not be available as we are launching this podcast, but you can always check and see. So if you want to play it on the consoles, it's also available there as well. So I just wanted to let that be known that if you want, you can do that. And the best thing about it is if you go through the Jackbox site, they show you how to play with your friends online through Google Meets, through Zoom, through Discord. So they show you and have walkthroughs on how you can play with your friends and interact with them like they're physically there.
So thoughtful.
So they have that as well. So
have you played this before?
You going to pick up any of this? I have the Party Pack 3. Remember, I've been trying to get you to play with me and
that's right,
Razor and everybody.
No
one wants to play with us.
Wait, when did this first come out?
With us. Jackbox has been around forever.
It has been around forever.
But this is the sale that's helping people get through this COVID-19 stuff. And I've seen a bunch of friends do it. My wife's good friend, he owns a development company who does like websites and stuff. He posted on his company Facebook basically that all of his friends, all of his company were playing Drawing 2 or Draw It 2, which is one of the games that Jackbox has. So, and they did it through a Zoom or a Google Meets. I don't know which one, but they did it all. And he like took a screenshot of their scores and then everyone on the side all on camera.
Okay. Yep.
And I do want to put together a game night for us as well. I know that you're busy. You've been busy, but we're going to get a bunch of friends together, hopefully, and try to do a digital game night.
I'm totally down. Yeah, I mean, I did play this before with my roommates here at my house, and it's definitely, it's fun. And I mean, you know, you have a couple drinks and it's really fun. So this thing is we do not promote underage drinking on this channel, please note. And
but everyone is of age.
Yeah, obviously. Oh yeah, everybody here is at least 19. All right, so anyways, so they have tons of games on this, and honestly, this is probably the if somebody is not into video games, like if you don't like traditional video games, like even Nintendo, like most people, if they don't like Xbox and PS games, then they'll play like Mario, like traditional games, or even Animal Crossing or Pokemon, right? And but if you can't even get on board with that, then this is probably the route to go, because it's more like a Pictionary type deal. Stuff like that. Those types of games are on this, and oh man, can you pass the time, especially during this COVID stuff. This game is fun. It's super easy to play, super easy to set up, and honestly, for the price, you'll get your money's worth. It's very low costed for the amount of time you'll probably play it.
Yeah, and if you don't want to spend $20.99, you can buy some of the older titles, which are a little bit cheaper, that are on sale as well. So it's you can get it as cheap as $12.49 if you want to buy the original party game, and then the Party Pack 2 is also $12.49. And then once again, if you want to save some money and just buy an individual game, they do have the individual games for sale, like Drawful 2, which is the one I think was the one that he was talking about. That's $4.99 right now. Yep, basically like that. And they have tons of different games that are on sale, so it's totally up to you. But I would recommend that if you're looking at it and you want some of the newer games, to check the party packs, because the party packs are actually cheaper than some of the individual games themselves. For example, Party Pack 3 is $16.24, which comes with the Murder Trivia Party, which is the one that I was trying to get you to play with me a couple weeks back.
With Razor, yeah.
Well, if you wanted to buy that individually, it's $16.24. So instead of buying that individually, buy the Party Pack 3 for $16.24. Get that plus 4 more games on top of it. So worth doing, guys. Worth doing, especially if you want to get some people in on the game playing. But yeah, I would recommend doing it. I'm probably going to purchase the 6 Party Pack and then try to put a game night together for all of us.
This can also be purchased
Wednesday
for your TV on Apple TV and Amazon Fire, so keep that in mind.
Yep.
That's why I say,
and
for
if you have Comcast too. Yeah, and Comcast also has it too.
Oh wow, yeah, Comcast box. Infinity. Wow.
But those are not on sale.
No, those are not.
But that's it, guys. That's the Ruffhouse deals for the week. Please check them out. Hopefully, when this airs, they'll still be on sale. But it looks like at least on the Epic Game Store it will be. So you'll have one place to get it.
Go grab them deals. Get them.
Deal it.
So hopefully we can help some people save some money with that segment each week. I'm kind of excited we do that. So offer some value to our listeners. All right. So as always, we're gonna end with some of the new games coming out and another light week, man. Another light week. Feels bad, but what I will say is I probably don't care what's coming out for the next 2 months anyways because I have the Final Fantasy VII remake, so it is what it is. So plus Pokemon coming in the mail too. So I got and Animal Crossing, dude. I'm screwed.
Yeah, you're done.
I'm done. So I know last week we actually mentioned Fallout 76 Wastelanders was coming out, I think on the 7th, and that was a big fail because they delayed it right after we announced that, and it is now delayed to release on the 14th, which is, what the heck is today? So what is that, Tuesday?
Today's the 11th, so it's going to release on Tuesday. So a day after this.
So if you guys want to pick that up, head on over to the store on Tuesday for PC, PS4, or Xbox One. Hellpoint for PC is coming out on the 16th. Hellpoint is an intense action RPG taking place in Irid Novo, or on Irid Novo, so it must be a planet. A derelict space station, it's a space station, soaked in an intoxicating dark sci-fi atmosphere. Fight dreadful creatures, face the cosmic gods, and unravel their twisted story. Should the challenge be too great, play with a friend in local or online co-op. So this kind of has a Destiny vibe to it, not going to lie, from looking at it. It's developed by Cradle Games, published by Tiny Build, and this is coming out Q2 of 2020. This says, I guess the official date is April 16th. So if you guys want to check that out, it doesn't. Are you seeing a price on here?
I am not. It's just a wish list because it says its planned release is Q2 2020. So I would just check with your sources to make sure that it's coming out for maybe another system or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because right now, Steam should have the release date as April 16th or 14th, excuse me. And right now, it doesn't show that. So it may have been pushed back, and the information you have might be limited. So everybody
just double check that one. It seems kind of odd, but it is supposed to come out in Q2 if it doesn't come out on the 16th.
A lot of weird things have been happening with games
because of COVID,
because of COVID. So it's possible that it just hasn't been updated on the site that we receive our games coming out. So
all right, next up we have Overcooked with an exclamation point. Overcooked 2, the Gourmet Edition. So this game is actually already out, but they are releasing the Gourmet Edition. So I'll go over what Overcooked is first, which looks really weird. Overcooked,
it's a cooking game.
Yeah. Oh, you think? Thanks, Joe. You know, what would I do without you sometimes?
I don't know how you survive without me.
I don't know how I survive either. Overcooked returns with a brand new helping of chaotic cooking action. Journey back to the Onion Kingdom and assemble your team of chefs in classic couch co-op or online play for up to 4 players. Hold on to your aprons. It's time to save the world again. God knows hey, right now the cooks are really saving the world. I'm not gonna lie. They're cooking up a lot of to-go food. So this is actually got very positive reviews. It was developed by Ghost Town Games and published by Team 17 Digital. It was released on August 7, 2018. Now we have access for all of you that have been waiting patiently for the Gourmet Edition. That is going to come out on the 16th for PC. And just want to pull up. It looks like it contains
all the DLC basically that came with Overcooked 2. So
yeah, all the DLC. So it's there's expansion: Surf and Turf, Campfire Cook-Off, Night of the Hangry Horde, and Carnival of Chaos. Also includes 58 chefs, and featured in the Too Many Cooks pack, dozens of kitchens, an appetizing menu of recipes, 26 different recipes, 130 different kitchens, by the way.
Levels, yeah.
And then the co-op multiplayer. So, wow, they have a lot of expansions for this. So this must have actually been a pretty good game. Yeah. So, it's funny. Ever since we started doing this segment, Joe, there's a lot of games that, man, like if I think I don't have time now buying, the AAA titles like Final Fantasy and Pokemon, oh my God, if I actually, the life of a video game reviewer right now, what I would do to work at IGN and just review games and play them all,
Well, with that being said, the next game on the docket has to do with savings. So why don't you go ahead?
Whoa. savings, more saving your nuts, Joe. All right, it's
That's
very
it.
specific savings there. Okay, this Save Your Nuts for PC, Xbox One, and Switch. It comes out April 16th. Man, the names just get better sometimes.
Man, you want to talk about bad puns and me using wild on a lot of stuff. This one starts off with go nuts in this insane 1 to 8 player chaotic arena party game.
Put your cooperation skills to the test over intense physics-based battles, mixing casual offline modes and competitive online matches. This seems like kind of a gimmicky game. It didn't really get too many positive reviews. Developed and published by Triple Scale Games. So it looks like it's kind of just like an indie game, small indie game. And this is going to be $14.99 when it does come out. So that is it for this week.
Yeah, and it's it's early access, and right now it actually says on Steam April 24th. So it sounds like it's next week.
Yeah, so it looks like it might have already gotten pushed.
So it might have been pushed, but anyways, it's going to be coming up. So this is going to happen from time to time with everything that's going on right now with COVID and stuff. So we'll try to keep it as up to date as possible as we go through it. But with that being said, we want to thank everyone for coming aboard for another week of Game Wild. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and look forward to many, many more as they come out. And let's finish off with SJW. You've been doing a lot of stuff, so why don't you tell people where they can find you outside of the podcast?
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, after we get off recording this, I'm helping organize an EU tournament for Legends of Runeterra. I will also be casting the NA tournament later today at 3 p.m. Won't matter when you hear this podcast, but I may or may not be putting up a recording of some of the castings, so check out my YouTube channel. Shit Just Works if you want to try to see some of that. Lots of Legends of Runeterra content as well. And there's a lot of Runeterra spoilers coming out this month for that game. Just for the new set that's coming out on the 28th. So I have videos like the second they get that news out on Reddit. I'm making a video putting that up to get that info to you guys. So check it out. Obviously, I got my Instagram and Twitter and stuff, but lots of good stuff happening. And you're gonna hear it here first. I'm actually gonna tell you too, Joe. I gotta probably play with it a little bit more, but I think I finally got a little bit of an animated intro for my YouTube. So it's not much, but it's better than what I had before. So hey, it's baby steps, right?
Hey, stills work too, so don't worry about it.
Hey, you know what? It is what it is. It's the content that matters, right?
Absolutely. So with that being said, everybody, thank you for coming on board. Rate and review us 5 stars, please, and we will see you next week.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace out.